GM, welcome to another episode of the Crypto Weekly Recap. My name is Josh Gordon, I'm your host, and let's talk about everything important that's going on in the crypto, NFT, and Metaverse world this week. Now, before I jump on in, I just want to shout out a quick reminder here that I've dropped alpha about the Moonbirds NFT drop, the Yuga Labs Metaverse land sale, other deeds. We've talked about that on this weekly series, and if you're paying attention and you're following along, there are great NFT trades for you. But here, listen up, I'm not just here to shill NFT trading and let you know what to buy and what to mint. I really want to keep you educated and informed about what's going on in the Web3 space. So with that said, let's jump into our three big news stories of the week, and then we're going to talk about some NFT alpha. Now, if you're enjoying this video and other videos on the Unstoppable Domains channel, please drop a subscribe, follow along. It helps us reach more people who are interested in this kind of stuff just like you, and makes me feel appreciated. So let's jump on in. All right, with story number one, I want to talk about the Yuga Labs Metaverse land sale. Now, they had $300 million of sales on Saturday alone during this mint. It was absolutely crazy. I was up for hours doing this. I had two wallets KYC'd that I used to go mint these NFTs. One of them I actually had my mom controlling, one of them I was doing. It was a lot of fun. I brought her into this space and we were able to mint some NFTs. We're gonna get into that in 1 second, but let's talk about the stats. So they did $300 million of land sales, and that was, the land has a mixture of types, attributes, artifacts, and the grail everyone was hoping would appear on their land are called KODAs. So these are in-game playable figures. They're probably something like the boss that you're gonna have to defeat, or maybe we're gonna see them integrated into the storyline. We're not quite sure yet. Yuga Labs has kept a lot of information around the other deed, which is this project, other side. They've kept a lot of the information close hold, but they have not disappointed us yet. So even though we don't know how these KODAs and the different land types are gonna really come into play in their Metaverse game that they're planning, we know they're gonna be important. So for those who did mint the other deeds, if you sold pre-reveal, which means before the NFT revealed, and you can see what type of land or artifacts you got, you were in the profit, probably 100% profit. So if you put in 3 ETH and you sold, you were making 6 ETH. So like 3 ETH profit. Now, if you waited for the reveal to be over and you're still holding on your land, well, now you're more in the break even or potential for being at a loss, depending on how rare your land is. But if you got a KODA, then you could have been massively up. So KODAs were selling for 30 ETH right off the bat. That's like 100K. So I was a little disappointed. I advised my mom to actually sell the NFTs she minted pre-reveal, because let's lock in that profit. Let's take our W and be happy about it. Turns out one of her lands had a KODA on it. That land ended up selling for 100K. So mom, I'm sorry, but you know what? We live to see another day in NFT world. Now, this land drop was extra crazy because there was 55.6 thousand Ethereum that was burned because of transaction fees. So at its peak, ETH gas was costing about 2 ETH, which was pretty crazy there. And I actually hadn't seen it that high before. But every single time a transaction happens on the Ethereum network, there's a fee. And some of that fee gets burned, and it's taken out of the total supply of Ethereum. So on a normal day, we burn about $30 million of Ethereum of the supply, and this drop had 5x that normal day of Ethereum being burned from one NFT drop alone. So for those who had transactions fail, because a lot of people had theirs fail because gas was so high, Yuga Labs actually stepped up and fully refunded them, which is great to see. So this was probably the most anticipated mint to date in the NFT world. It went off, definitely not flawlessly, but looking back at it, there's a lot of lessons learned, and it'll be interesting to see how it progresses from here. All right, with story number two, we're going to talk about the landscape of the NFT market right now, because there's been some stories from publications like the Wall Street Journal that haven't been so positive. But I don't feel like they're giving an accurate portrayal of how the NFT market currently sits. And some of this information, I do want to shout out to the Milk Road for providing some awesome charts and breakdowns that I'm going to be citing here. So the Wall Street Journal published an article titled, "Is this the beginning of the end of NFTs?" And tons of people were talking about it. And the article said that NFTs are down 92% since September. So, of course, people jumped on this. It's a hot topic. That's a clickbait headline. But let's dive in to see if there's truth to that. So are NFT sales down big? Well, that's the first myth we need to talk about. The truth is that NFT daily volume on OpenSea is hitting almost all-time highs. When we go in and look at data provided by Nansen AI, well, I actually am a subscriber of Nansen and I use that to look at NFT trading volume and stuff like that. We can see a different stories being told. Now, records are being broken thanks to NFT collections like the Moonbirds and the Bored Ape Yacht Club land sale, but OpenSea saw $480 million in sales volume on May 1st alone. Now, here's a chart, it's gonna be on screen right next to me, showing that. So we can see that volume per week is actually approaching an almost all-time high. So we're seeing NFT volume consistently be up and not down like the Wall Street Journal is portraying. The Wall Street Journal article says that the weekly active wallets in the NFT market are down 88% from all-time highs. The truth is there are 350,000 active wallets in the NFT market, and it has been that way for the last 14 of 17 weeks. So we're seeing consistent active wallets in this space, and we are not seeing the NFT market down 88% in active wallets from an all-time high. The NFT market is just currently growing day in and day out. More people are getting their wallets on popular wallet platforms like MetaMask or Coinbase Wallet or Trust Wallet, and we are not seeing such a drastic dip that this article is pointing out. And we have this graphic right up next to me on screen showing the week-to-week wallet activity. The last thing this Wall Street Journal article says is that the NFT market is getting crushed right now, primarily because of interest rates. Now, we know these interest rates aren't good for a lot of things. They're high right now. It's really affecting home buying prices, but when we look at Nansen AI data, we can see that actually the blue chip NFTs, some of the top projects, are not getting crushed. What we are seeing is that smaller projects, a lot of liquidity is moving from the smaller ones into the bigger ones. And so the big projects are performing well. The small ones aren't performing the best. But when we look at blue chip NFTs compared to other major asset classes, we are not seeing this statement that NFTs are getting crushed. In fact, it's the opposite. So blue chip NFTs are up 33%, Bitcoin is down 15%, ETH is down 20%, S&P 500 and NASDAQ are down 10.8 and 18.5% respectively. So if your money was sitting in stocks, you're down. If it's sitting in crypto like Bitcoin or ETH, you're likely down. If it's sitting in blue chip NFTs, you're up. That's a fact. So we've said it before on the Unstoppable podcast, NFTs and crypto are very much like religion. It's very tribal. There's groups that will scream from both sides. So what we see is pro NFT people, they're only going to tell you how great NFTs are. And people who are anti-NFTs will only tell you why it's a scam, it's a Ponzi, and it's a waste of your money. So hopefully this helps shed some light on some data and some facts that is really not supportive of the Wall Street Journal article. With story number 3, let's talk about some crypto funding briefly. You know, it's been a hot topic. Tons of venture capital and new money is flowing into the crypto ecosystem. So a couple things we saw this week that were notable is Haun. We talked about her venture fund that raised $1.5 billion to invest in Web3 that launched. It made its first investment. They invested $15 million into NFT Protocol Zora. Now, the funding round values the tooling startup at $600 million, which is cool to see. So Zora's NFT protocol focuses on tools to create NFT collections and independent marketplaces for prospective artists and businesses. So an analogy that they said online is that OpenSea is to Amazon as Zora is to Shopify. So OpenSea is helping focus on the marketplace aspect of NFTs, and Zora is helping independent people stand up their own marketplaces. Another interesting funding that we saw is not from venture capital, and it is instead from Luna Foundation Guard. So this has to do with the token Luna and how they are raising money to buy Bitcoin as an asset that's backing their stablecoin Terra. Luna Foundation Guard is buying Bitcoin as an asset to back their stablecoin UST. So they acquired 37,863 Bitcoins as it continues to move towards its target of having $10 billion of stablecoin reserves before the end of the third quarter of this year. Now, the purchase brings Luna Foundation Guard's holdings to more than 80,000 Bitcoin, or nearly $3 billion. So they're about a third of their way there in terms of buying Bitcoin as an asset to back their stablecoin. And it's pretty crazy because this deal pushes LFG, Luna Foundation Guard, into one of the top 10 holders of Bitcoin. So it's been crazy to see them buy this, and I think they're going to continue to buy Bitcoin as they get to that $10 billion goal. All right, in Unstoppable Domains news, let's talk about a couple updates for this week. The first is that we're really excited to talk more about the .nft domain extension. Now, people can share the same names, businesses or hobbies, but they can't share the same NFT name. Now, it's 100% unique and it's on the blockchain and you own it. Let me talk about 3 facts about NFT domain names that I want you to know about. The longer the domain, the less expensive it is. Domains that have any numbers are discounted up to 75% of the standard price. And .nft is quickly becoming one of the largest NFT domain names on the market. So it's exciting to see .nft take off. I've got a .nft myself and rep it on Twitter. And a cool partnership and announcement I want to talk through is with TokenLawn and our login with Unstoppable contest. If you use TokenLawn, the decentralized app, and you log in with Unstoppable, you might get rewarded. So our partners at TokenLawn are giving away 80 mystery gift boxes worth $10,000 in total, and all you have to do is log in with Unstoppable to qualify. Now, each mystery box will contain a different reward with the basket of prizes as follows. We got 6,000 lawn tokens as a reward, $3,000 in Unstoppable domain credits, some hardware wallets, TokenLawn swag, Unstoppable domain swag, so lots of cool prizes just for being a user of a decentralized application. Also to note, this campaign goes from May 5th to May 12th. All right, let's talk about Community Member of the Week. Now this week, I want to shout out Elena, who goes by Trading Female on Twitter. Now, Elena is an entrepreneur, investor, and creator. She started her career at 2 of the top consulting firms working in the financial strategy sector. Now, this led her to joining a billion-dollar startup and eventually taking the red pill and jumping into the Web3 space earlier this year, where she's best known as a content creator, NFT investor, and working at a venture fund called Redbeard Ventures. Now, Elena is also on the MyBFF team, which is an NFT project, helping to build more meaningful conversations around women, and she has founded the Girls Table. So, Elena, shout out to you for rocking your .nft domain name. Me and her will be talking on a Twitter space, and if you didn't get the chance to listen to it, it will be recorded, and you can find that on the Unstoppable Domains Twitter account. And an NFT project of the week that I want to talk about is the OK Bears on the Solana ecosystem. Now, OK Bears have been getting a ton of traction in recent weeks. They minted and it sold out in April, end of April, and people are talking about them. They're getting lots of hype. It's kind of reminding me of Azuki. If you have we have the blueprint on the screen here, and it's just giving me similar Azuki vibes to the way their website's built, the kind of activations they're talking about, from fashion to collectibles and whatnot. So you can purchase these on places like Magic Eden, which is the leading Solana marketplace. And right now the floor to get one OK Bear is about $10,000 USD, or somewhere between 100 to 110 Solana tokens. So I'm keeping my eye out on OK Bears. We're really waiting for a PFP project on Solana to take off. And OK Bears right now have the momentum. So super interesting to see as I see more of them pop up on my Twitter feed. That's kind of an indicator to me that lets me know people are interested in these, people are buying them and really supporting them online. All right, that is a wrap for today's episode of the Crypto Weekly Recap. I appreciate you listening and following along. And if you made it this far, please Drop a subscribe on the channel, it really helps. And every Wednesday, we have the Unstoppable podcast. We release a brand new episode where we talk to entrepreneurs, early stage investors, and the people building the future on the blockchain. So if you want to learn more about Web3, NFTs, and the Metaverse, highly encourage you to check out our podcast on your favorite streaming platform, whether that's Apple or Spotify or something else. So with that, I'm out. You can find me on Twitter at JustWavyJ. Let's keep the conversation going. I appreciate you listening, and I'll see you in the Metaverse. Peace out.